Test Tank 18.3 arrives at Massey's, a version 3 ship aft section pathfinder seen in the scrapyard at Sanchez, Booster 18's aft section is finally spotted entering Mega Bay 1 at the build site, and Ship 38 eventually conducts a 6-engine static fire after 2 scrubs. Hey everyone and welcome back, my name's Jeff A and we'll talk about all that and more today in episode 99 of Starbase Flyover Update, brought to you by RGV Aerial Photography. The weather was super cloudy this week on September the 20th. We took a risk on it and ended up with another set of awesome photos of SpaceX's Super Heavy Starship program here at Starbase, Texas. With that, let's take a look around, starting at Massey's test facility. Before we begin, here's a labelled map of the site from Proky to help you find your way around the site. Beginning at the methane tank farm, a tank has been moved from the deluge farm over to the pedestals. This tank was previously connected to the gantry's fire suppression sprinklers. Moving to the electrical bunker, we can see the roof for the extension covering the electrical transformers has been poured. Near the end of the methane tank, 2 pipes are emerging from the trench, confirming the path of methane to the fluids bunker. Over at the flame trench, the gantry structure is being assembled, with the top level sitting on the ramp waiting to be installed. More pipe racks and plumbing have been added to connect the fluids bunker to the gantry. Now moving to the structural test area, we can see the B18.3 test tank has been transported here from the build site, ready for its round of testing. While we're on this image, we see that Booster 13 has been completely disassembled. At the new electrical bunker, following some removal of concrete, forms are being reinstalled to re-pour the corner of the building that had issues. Shoring and roof formwork is also being installed to pour the roof. Finally, on September 19th, Test Tank 17 appears to have had a failure when a large amount of gas began venting out what appears to be the horizontal test ram. One of the Lab Padre cameras picked up this footage, with a big shout out to Vix on the X platform for compiling it. Well, that's it for Massey's. Let's move on to Sanchez. This week has been a little bit progressless at Sanchez. Starting with the Booster version 3 transport stand, the hold down arms seem to be getting prepared for the alignment balls to be installed. This is the last major step to complete this stand. Moving over, the Pad 2 GSC bunker cladding is still being finished and getting prepared to be moved to the pad for lifting them into place. Over here, we have the GN2 exhaust manifold for Massey's awaiting transport. More hold-down arm doors are getting delivered, counting 15 as of now. They should get installed at the pad in the next few weeks. Rolling to the former gas power plant, a short wall is being prepared for the fencing to be continued around the new Tesla Megapacks that were installed a few weeks ago. Finally for Sanchez, we can take an aerial look at the ship aft pathfinder that rolled out from Star Factory to the scrapyard after the previous flyover. This article is most likely just a manufacturing pathfinder to learn and set up the procedures for version 3 aft section production. Just before moving to the build site, we'd like to thank all of our YouTube and Patreon members. Remember, all the patrons get to participate in our Discord show and tell sessions on the same day of each flight. Here you can join in the discussions and ask your own questions. YouTube members also get to watch and listen in with a live chat function. Starting at the Gigabay foundations, we can see that the 7th out of 10 pours was in progress during this flyover. Box formwork is being installed around the embeds, where the columns will be installed. It's speculated that the floor slab is going to be poured before the structure will begin to rise. Soil is also being placed in the pile cap, like the mega bunker at the launch site. They appear to be laying this to decouple the floor slab from the pile cap. Moving to the highlight of the week, being the first version 3 aft section rollout to the Mega Bay on the 19th. First, a new tank had to be installed beside the booster transfer tube before the LOX tank could be stacked on the aft section. The empty installation stand for this tank remained in Mega Bay 1 during the flyover. It's unclear what the purpose this tank is used for within the vehicle. Let us know what you think in the comments. Booster 18's complete LOX tank now sits on the left turntable in Mega Bay 1. Finally, at the new apartment building, precast concrete sections continue to be installed as the building continues to rise. Let's have a look at the labelled map. Take a moment to pause the video if you need extra time looking it over. Starting this week at Pad 2, let's look below the launch mount. With recent testing of the deluge systems, there is no longer any scaffolding lining the internal trench walls. The GSC structure continues progress on cladding installation, this week focused heavily on these corner pieces. To the left of the structure, the LOX BQD door is fitted with rigging. Later in the day, it would be lifted for installation. Cladding on Tower 2 continues this week. An end panel is lifted here. However, it would be abandoned as there seemed to be trouble tucking it into the corner with the chopsticks there. This past week, new panels will be seen installed on the 2 levels above what is currently seen. Just to the right of the tower from this angle, the centre section of the water farm blast wall is poured. At the D1 entrance, a deep excavation is in progress with shoring in place. Across the entrance, ring sections delivered last week are for a lift station, possibly part of the stormwater drainage along the highway. The ship transport stand is also staged here during Ship 38 testing. Moving to the water farm, hoses are connected to the water offload manifold. Deliveries have been seen at the end of the blast wall, and additional hoses may indicate trucks backing next to the tanks as well. On the far left, the hose disappears under the tanks and may be connected to the sump return pipe. The frequency of recent deluge tests suggests that they may be reusing water for these tests. On the opposite end of the tanks, the top manifold is staged for installation on the last tank. Below the tanks, the water manifold has been moved under the last 3 tanks. This image confirms the manifold is not yet connected. Just below, the concrete walls of the mega bunker are being installed. Moving in front of the tank farm, the 5 vaporizer foundations now have fan bases installed. The vaporizers to set atop them may arrive soon. Further down, in what seems to be unnecessary, the 3 water tanks for the Pad 1 DSS system are being painted. Perhaps they just want to make the tank farm look a little nicer for the final launch before Pad 1 gets an overhaul for compatibility with the next generations of vehicles. At Pad 1, Ship 38 sits on the adapted launch mount. Following 2 attempts to static fire its Raptor engines, several lifts can be seen working around the mount. Looking close behind the booster quick disconnect, the LOX fill drain pipe work is disconnected, suggesting this may be related to the aborted attempts. On September 22nd, a 6-engine static fire was successful with SpaceX posting a video and several images. Finally, moving to the air separation unit's construction site, progress continues with the perimeter wall structures. Along the curved portion, further walls are seen with the straight section opposite the entrance to the site beginning formwork for that area's base. Well, that's it for episode 99 of Starbase Flyover Update. Thank you for choosing to fly with RGV aerial photography, and we hope you all enjoyed the flight. If you liked what you saw today, please subscribe for more episodes and content, and so you don't miss out on the new videos each week. I'm Jeff A, and we'll see you again from 6,000 feet.